Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for looking at today's video. Today's video we're going to go over 66 Nova Super Sport Pro Touring. As we walk around this car, this car costs somewhere around in the $60,000 to $70,000 range to get done, and it has some really great pieces in it. So let's take a peek at it, and we'll start with some of the paint. We talk about paint in almost every video, and we like to show the quality of the paint because we talk about the difference between pictures and video. And pictures can make a car look shiny, and Lord knows I've bought cars that look shiny and turned out not to be shiny as they were in the picture. So come on up here for a second. I'd like you to check out this paint here. It's first off, this car is completely restored, front to back, underneath, top, bottom, everything, new panels and things like that. I'm going to point out some things that may or may not look significant to you, but believe it or not, they're very expensive items on this car. So come on up. Let's take a quality look at the paint for a second. Look at that. You can read the window sticker in there. And that's what you want to be able to see. When you're looking at pictures online, you want to be able to see the leaves on the tree. You want to see what the guy's shirt looks like. You want to see what kind of camera he's using, things like that. Anyway, beautiful red paint. Let's come on down here a little bit and check this stuff out here. We talk about using tires on cars. Good tires mean somebody cared, somebody drove this car to car shows, and that's where this car was. It was a local car show car, and the gentleman retired and moved away where he didn't have room for all these cars anymore. So nice set of Coy's alloys with Continentals on them. Sport contacts, and you see the disc brakes up here, but we also have the rear disc brakes, and I'd like to show you those also. This also has a Ford 9-inch rear, and as we walk around the back of the car, we'll be able to see some of that. New exhaust, great looking paint, nice straight body. I love the Super Sport emblems on it. There she is hanging down. She's not your standard GM rear, she's a Ford 9-inch. And there's a lot of effort that goes into narrowing a 9-inch on top of throwing in GM calipers and brakes onto a 9-inch. So there's some engineering that's gone into here. Obviously updated axles with the right bolt pattern. It just looks really good. We looked at great paint and great body. We looked at four-wheel disc brakes. We looked at a nice tire and wheel setup for the handling aspects of this car, because this car not only goes well, it handles well and things like that. Let's look at where some big money was spent. Now typically on these cars here, shock towers are right there on both sides, and there's not a lot of room. That's why getting a big block in these cars has always been a very difficult task. So people that wanted to do that would put in what's this called here. And this is a tube frame chassis, okay? They got rid of all the shock towers and things like that, and what they were able to do is they were able to clean up the engine compartment. So here we have Chassis Works Engineering, complete front subframe for a Nova Super Sport. So these are rolled fenders, okay? Then the chassis comes down here, and this is what's really cool. You need to look down here. Rack and pinion steering. Not the old big box with the sloppy steering. This is fast ratio rack and pinion steering that you would get in a modern car today. Air conditioning, beautiful dress-up package, and the little bit of stuff that you don't see, like billet knuckles for the steering arm so that it bends properly and it doesn't bind while you're steering. It comes back to center. Beautiful billet specialties parts here. Detailed engine compartment. Ceramic coated headers. You can buy headers and spend a couple $100s on headers, or you can spend $500 on headers, and spending a little extra on headers that are ceramic coated and quality headers makes a big difference, because then they don't look rusty and ugly in a great engine compartment like this after only 500 miles. MSD's hidden behind there too, so we got good spark, we got a good motor, and it's a pretty built motor too. When I start it up, you'll hear it. It sounds great, very easy to drive, and one of the nice things about the car on top of it is you got the air conditioning, you have the rack and pinion steering. This has a great stereo system in it, hi-fi with iPod, CD. I'm not sure if it has Bluetooth or not, but it's got some great pieces in that whole system here. It's got tinted glass on it. This guy drove this car to shows, and he wanted to make sure that everything worked on the car, and that's the kind of car you want to buy, one that somebody's taken the time to work out any bugs, kinks, and things like that, so when he does go to the show, he's not embarrassed. Let's take a peek inside. All right, we talked about the front end of this car. There's probably 10 grand just tied up just in the front end under the hood with the Chassis Works Engineering, the rack and pinion steering, things like that, the four-wheel disc brakes we looked at. And let's walk in here. This is cool. What I love about this kind of pro touring car is it remained bone stock inside, right? And the air conditioning kind of stayed stock also. A couple rocker switches for some of the functions. But then there's a couple comfort features that I wanted to show you. This car has a 5-speed, believe it or not. So on the highway, although it has a nice rear end ratio for that snap from first to fourth, the 5th gear highway, you can cruise all day in it. Very, very nice. This right here for the big guys, tilt steering column, and it's a polished I Did It column. Nice new wheel. All new gauges. That's the sound system, the Kenwood digital sound with satellite, CD, all kinds of good stuff. New headliner, seats, carpet, door panels. We talked about the speakers front and rear. Just a really, really nicely done car. How about we take a peek in the trunk for a second, and I'll show you the rest of the details. Justin, show them the back seat if you don't mind, because it's very nice back there. Have a peek in the trunk for a second. Got the nice Nova Super Sport call out. Okay, this is nice, nicely detailed. Battery's been moved back here for a little bit of weight transfer. Electric antenna. These are the creature comforts I'm talking about. Like the only thing left to do on this car really, if you want it to be as luxurious as say maybe a new car, might be to put power windows in the car, which we can do if you want to. But other than that, I think it's just an awesome car. All new gaskets, weather stripping, great paint. The detail of the trunk, properly splatter painted with a nice little coat of clear on there to keep it nice and fresh. It's got a spare tire cover, and we already talked about the battery. Well, you say, you know what, Tone, that sounds great, looks good. It's got a great look to it, it's got great features and things like that. What's it sound like? Well, how about I fire it up for you so you can see. In closing up this video here, there's a lot of detail that maybe we didn't go over everything on the car, but you're talking about the four-wheel disc brakes, we're talking about air conditioning, we're talking about a 5-speed instead of a 4-speed. Beautifully restored, great suspension, great handling, got good power, and just a cool cruising car. On top of the fact, forget of all that stuff I just told you, an awesome body style. The 66 Nova Super Sport body style is great looking. Anyway, we're proud to present this, this great Pro Touring Nova. Call us 301-816-1000 and we'll tell you all about it.